This meeting Wednesday, September 16, 2021 p.m. Zoom teleconference meeting, and this is on the remote participation order the Governor of March 12, 2020, and changing certain provisions of the open meeting law. I hereby call the meeting to order. A roll call, Commissioner Collins.
Present.
Commissioner Shea.
Present.
And Commissioner O'Brien is present. I will await a motion for the minutes of the open session meeting of September 9th, 2020.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve the open session minutes from the meeting of September 9, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion made and seconded to approve the open session meeting of September 9, 2020 for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, it is a vote. On the public comment, do we have the newly elected sheriff? Is he on board with us today?
I haven't.
Sheriff Paulati?
No, I
Is he
haven't
on, Mike?
heard him yet. No, I haven't
Is he
heard
on?
him yet. No, I don't think so. Not yet, Mr. Chairman. So, if I see that he joins, I can let. I can let you know when he does.
Okay, have a capital improvement to report, John McGowan, please.
Yes, good afternoon. I've had a few projects going on with this COVID-19 plexiglass improvements that we're making in different courthouses. We finished up Quincy juvenile probation this week here. There was a few things that we missed last week. We're working right now on the Stoughton juvenile courtroom, and that's coming along pretty good. We're waiting for some material to come in from one of the suppliers so that we can start installing the plexiglass at the judge's bench and the clerk's tables and stuff like that. We have another project over at Superior Court that we didn't get to, was for Walter Timothy, which we're going to accomplish that tomorrow morning. I don't think, it doesn't involve a lot. We should be able to get it done in a few hours. And the other thing I did was I was at Quincy parking lot on Saturday with the paving company, seal coating company, and we went through, I went through what needed to be done with him, and he did a great job. Had no problems with him at all. Had a little problems with the communication with him. Other than that, I told him, in the future we'll keep in better contact. Sunday I was there with the company that did the line striping, and there was a few things that were added. Handicap spaces, I think there was 3 handicap spaces, and we added a fire lane along the left side of the building where a lot of people park there, which they shouldn't be there, to allow emergency apparatus to get in there. And hopefully it works. I hope it does anyway. And like I said, we're waiting for that material for Stoughton Court. And we're also installing, at night we're installing the hand sanitizing dispensers throughout all the courthouses. That project should be done, I would think, by the end of this week. We have almost all of them installed, except for there's a few places that we have to go back and address because the units didn't work. We're trying to get the ones that they're electric. They're battery operated. You put your hand under it like a wand, and some of them are malfunctioning, so we got to replace them. Judge White wants to know when her project is going to be started, and we informed her that it will be done as soon as we get done with Stoughton Juvenile. I think we're going to try and work her in. And but right now she's using the plexiglass shields, which are working out fine for her. But the more permanent solution that we do will be addressed as soon as we get done with the other project. That's about it for me.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to make a comment that the commissioners have received and the director, a beautiful letter from Chief Justice, First Justice Joe Johnson of the Juvenile Court, congratulating you and your staff on a fantastic job that you're doing with the plexiglass. And Judge Sable is very, very happy, and the clerks, and they're all raving about it. So I just want to mention that to you. Commissioner Collins, you got any comments?
Nice job, John.
Thank you.
Commissioner Shea?
I do have a comment about Quincy, of course. I was fortunate enough, I got over there twice this week. It looks like a new place outside, even when you just do something as simple as resurface seal coat and fix the holes. And of course, we worked with the Sheriff's Department 5 or 6 weeks ago and did a little extra cleaning up and then restripe. It really, really looks good. I think when we get back to full capacity, which was a real problem there for a number of years, and the system where people are paying now, we should be more than ready to handle everything. Everyone seems to have a place to park now in that section of Quincy Square. Taken a long time to get there, but this completes our part, plus the new city garage. So when the pandemic flows or ends, hopefully, and that place fills right up again, I think we're going to be more than ready to handle everyone. It really looks great. They did a great job. John did a great job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to just break in and have everybody just a moment of silence for Chief Justice Gant, that passed away at the age of 65 years of age, very young man. We can have a moment of silence for Chief Justice, please. Thank you very much. Has the sheriff arrived yet, Mike?
No, he hasn't. I have not seen him actually log in. I don't have any idea if he has arrived through a phone number. So if he has arrived by phone number, Sheriff, are you there at all? No, I don't hear anything from him. It doesn't.
Let me know if you do hear. And do you have any follow-up on John McGowan, Director Mullen?
I believe it was last Thursday afternoon. We met with John and with folks from the juvenile court, and from the trial court, at Stoughton District Court, and and every week, it seems like every day we talk about this. However, last Thursday, the trial court actually had an opportunity to really see in Stoughton, in the court, in courtroom 1 there, the type of work that's happening, and they were very, very, very impressed with everything that's happening, but also the quality and the thought, happening with the work as well. And I just really wanted to, thank John, and Sheila, and John Vignoni, as well as Joe Feeney and John Palmer, especially, who have been working with us. like it's a long effort with the trial court. Like I think we'll be doing this like for like at least probably in the next month and a half. But I mean, and every day is just like a back and forth. Like working with John and Sheila and with the trial court. Like
Just call and give them the amount of it.
like
They're gonna have this checked to us.
yeah, like I'm
There's no
working to make
English
sure that we're all on the same
and
page.
probably
And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Treasurer Bellotti has not arrived.
No, he is not. Nope. Yes, he's arriving as we speak. So I'm admitting him as we speak. So if you want to give him a minute. And here he is.
I'd rather hear from him before we get into
Yep.
the hearing with Register O'Donnell.
Yes, he is on.
Is he on?
Yes, he is. We have the former sheriff with us.
Oh, yeah. Hi, guys. Sorry about that. Mike Bellotti.
Okay,
Right.
former sheriff and current treasurer Bloody, welcome aboard to your first Norfolk County Commissioners meeting. Congratulations on receiving 63% of the vote, one of the highest votes in Norfolk County. And we as a board, we welcome you aboard and wish you a lot luck in the future as county treasurer. So I'm going to turn it over to you for a few remarks and as you want to speak.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Commissioner, and to all the commissioners. Thank you. I look forward to this. As you know, there is technically an election in November, and I am thinking about transition now, putting together a transition team. Jim Timothy has been incredible, very helpful, and I understand because of my past relationships and history with you folks that there's incredible people working in the treasurer's office, commissioner's office, in throughout Norfolk County. So I'm not concerned about that. I'm just concerned about grabbing as much information as possible so I can hit the ground running in January. And again, Treasurer Timothy has been, he's done an excellent job. He's been very helpful with me in the past couple of weeks. I did have a couple of conference calls with his staff. I would like to just, stay in touch with you folks. I'm not here in official capacity. I won't be sworn in to January. Obviously November should be okay. No opposition, but it won't be official till then. I just really look forward. I mean, as sheriff, all those years we worked together, we got a lot done. And we were able to really do a lot with the Braintree location, do a lot around collaborations. But mostly whenever we had any type of, challenges fiscally or otherwise, we just figured it out and we worked together. And I look forward to that. I'm very, very excited about this opportunity. And I know that, you folks have done a great job. I just want to be part of it again.
Thank you very much, Mike. Any comments, Commissioner Collins?
Welcome aboard, Mike.
Thanks, Commissioner. I look forward to working you again. One more time, hopefully.
Commissioner Shea?
No, I'm ready to go, and I look forward to working with Treasurer Bellotti.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And number one, you remember we had following Commissioner Timmy Kale and Commissioner Joe Conley and Commissioner Jim Timothy, as you just said. Great. Jim's done a great job. So you got three guys you're following, and I'm sure that you'll fall right into their shoes as soon as you start moving.
Yeah, and I've talked to all of them, and I understand the foundation they've laid. So looking forward to building on that.
Okay, thank you very much for coming aboard, and we'll proceed with the meeting. Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
The next appointment we have is with 115 Register O'Donnell to discuss the budgetary and statutory issues. Register O'Donnell, are you on?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chairman. How are you? Hello,
Hello.
Joe, Peter, and everyone else.
It's been a long time
Everyone's
seeing
well,
one another, and
Well,
hopefully things will change so we can all get together and get on the same page here,
Yeah, it's a lot
I'll
easier
turn it over-
that way.
I'll turn it over to you.
Well, really just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to come before you and hopefully get a sense. As I said in the letter, I was asked to write a letter, and I did, trying to get a sense of the rules of the road, I guess, going forward on budget actions. We had received a notification that the books were going to be closed in August, and there were certain questions the registry senior staff had when reviewing the information relative to the closeout and involving the registry. And that's what prompts us to meet. Certainly, again, I appreciate the meeting because it's, helpful. You're the leaders of the county, what the rules of the road are. It helps me because, I think, one of the reasons we just, we're talking to, Treasurer-elect Bellotti. I think in the past, we've always tried to plan for the future. And I think we've done that at all levels of the county, but certainly for the registry, it helps to know the rules of the road for future planning and the operational purposes of the registry of deeds. And again, it will help for us to understand here at the registry what happened in the closeout of the county books and the schedules for fiscal year 2020. Now, we know, budget issues are by their nature difficult, and I don't want to, get back into the budget issues. The scope of the problems, that's the county commissioner's prerogative to try to solve them and to highlight what the scope is. I guess what brings me here is, the registry was advised of a certain number, and I can get into the votes of the advisory board, but there was a number given to the county mandate. And that number wasn't the final number granted to the registry when the books closed. And I guess my question is, why was the figure changed and who authorized that figure to be changed?
Okay, we'll start with that. I think that the answer to that should be given by the county treasurer and the assistant treasurer. So is Treasurer Chilty on?
Chairman, I'm right here.
Oh, thank you, Jim. And I haven't had a chance to say I'm sorry on your loss, too. I had called you several times, and I am deeply sorry for your loss.
Thanks very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
And if
it's answer that.
Yes, be more than happy to. Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the commissioners.
Yes.
The decision was ultimately, as all decisions are in Suite 101, the decision was mine as the duly elected treasurer of Norfolk County. The registry's actual expenditures of $3,558,790.62 are what their mandate appropriation became. However, their expenditures plus indirects, less their 40% of deed excise money collected, left only $3,239,149.66 left to expend to cover their total FY actual cost, and that is what we used as their mandate. Chapter 64D, Section 12 requires the county give the registry a mandate. However, it does not state the registry gets to keep what mandate funds above their actual costs. The registry left over $600,000 unspent in their budget, $450,000 in salaries. If they spent their money, the mandate would have increased. That's the answer.
Okay, and that was also verified, as I see it in front of me. That was also approved by Scott Lopez in a question that was asked to him, and that was back in June. Do we have any questions on that?
Well, yes. I heard and I agree that the expenditures as given to us by the treasurer were $3,558,709.62. And I know there was one document I attached to the letter to the commissioners, as per Director Mullins' request. And in the vote of the motion, it says the Registry of Deeds mandate would be equal to the fiscal year 2020 expenditures. So I guess, Treasurer Timothy has made his position clear. Was that also the position of the county commissioners and the county director?
Well, I can't speak for the other two commissioners, but I believe that my vote on the matter was to go along with the Treasurer Timothy on his finding and recommendation. So, would you want the other commissioners to comment?
Sure.
Commissioner Collins?
Sure. Yeah, it made sense that what Jim Timothy said, so we went along with that, yes.
Okay. Commissioner Shea?
I'll make that 3. Yeah, I felt the same way after discussing it with him and Director Mullen, and we went forward based on the treasurer's opinion.
And when did this, and again, I'm just trying to get information so we can assess it for the future, if this is going to be a future practice, but when did this, vote take place?
If that question is to me, the guidance that I received from Attorney Lopez and also my participation in attendance at all of the relevant FinCom and advisory board meetings. I have not missed an advisory board meeting since April of 2018. I think I have gone to, as personally with staff, everyone since that time, have not missed one. And what I took from that meeting was that we were going to follow the schedule based on what happened last year and what happened at those meetings. And I frankly, without any malice or any personality, I followed the law and the guidance of the votes of the advisory board meeting. And as I say, I followed the law. I know the statutes pretty well. I think 64D, Section 12 is very clear as to the 40%. And that's based on what was spent, and I think that's an industry standard in municipal government. I've been at enough town meetings in my life, is that you base a budget based on what is spent, not what was appropriated the year before. And that is what I did. And again, I will just say that I followed the law in the guidance of Attorney Lopez, and that was the change in the schedule.
Well, again, the vote of the advisory board was that the registry mandate was going to equal the fiscal year 2020 expenditures, and those expenditures were $3,558,790.62. And I guess to the treasurer or the county accountant, in the past, when there was a voted mandate, that mandate was applied to the expenses and the expenditures of the registry of deeds. Isn't that correct?
Yes, the advisory board voted on appropriation that the mandate will equal expenses, but this budgetary appropriation was set aside accordingly until the closing of the books when the actual numbers came into play.
Right, Treasurer, and I agree with you that I think we all agree. I mean, I'm not disputing what the county accountant said, that the expenditures were $3,558,790.62. That was the fiscal 2020 expenditures. And, whether I agree with the vote or not, the vote of the advisory board was that the mandate was to equal the fiscal year 2020 expenditures. Would that be a fair characterization of the vote of the advisory board?
I would just like to say, I think I've been very consistent since May of 2018 when we did an analysis of what was budgeted, and we have been clear that it should be based on what is actually expended, not what the year's appropriation was before. If in that I am incorrect, I don't see where it is, and I feel very strongly that we operated consistently, and I do believe from sitting in those meetings and listening to each explanation that, that we followed the law.
Well, Treasurer, and to the commissioners, I agree. I'm not trying to revisit history. The vote was the vote. And, you know, we're trying to move forward and get what the rules of the road are moving forward. But the vote of the advisory board was to, you know, and it's in the statute. It's a registry of deeds mandate was voted by the advisory board to be the fiscal 2020 expenditures. And we have no dispute of that. That was the vote. I would point out, I keep hearing Attorney Lopez's opinion. With all due respect, I think Attorney Lopez's opinion relative to what the mandate should be, which is 2.5% of the prior year's expenditures. That was the registry's position all along. And when you reference Attorney Lopez's opinion, which came after the vote of the advisory board, I think Attorney Lopez's opinion agrees with the registry's position, which was the statute says it's 2.5% of the prior year's expenditures. You know, not to get into what the prior year's expenditures were of 2019, but if you used what Attorney Lopez said, which is the law, it would certainly be higher than the expenditures of that 3.5 million number that we're talking about. But the vote's the vote. And, you know, the registry is happy to share in burdens and help the county out. But you got to kind of, you know, follow the law. And I recognize, I guess, what Treasurer Timmons doing. Maybe there's a divergent viewpoints and guidance is needed on what the law is. But the vote was 3.5 million by the advisory board. The vote was the registry mandate equals fiscal year 2020 expenditures. And we agree, the expenditures of the registry taken right from the county accountant is 3 million. That $3,558,790.62. So I guess you know, through the chair to the treasurer's office, in the past, hasn't the registry mandate that's been voted been applied to registry expenditures?
I believe that the guidance that we went through and got was based on the registry spending all of its money that had been appropriated. There was money that was not, so we based our totals, once again, I'll say it quite clearly, the registry's actual expenditures of the 3.5 million number are what the mandate appropriation became. However, their expenditures plus indirects, less than 40% of deeds excise money collected, left only $3,239,000 left to expend to cover their total FY20 actual costs. And that is what was used as their mandate.
But what I'm getting at is, in the past, the mandate was used to pay for the expenses and expenditures of the registry, correct? And one of those expenses and expenditures of the registry are the indirect costs. Wouldn't that be fair to say?
I mean, you received the mandate, but the unused returned to the general fund. And I believe that both yourself and on 3/11/2020, the first assistant register answered affirmatively, answered a definitive and simple yes to Commissioner Shea's question on that day of whether the unexpended resources come back to the general fund. And that's where it should be. It's important to note, for the edification, Mr. Chairman, through you, is that there is about $5.5 million in various accounts over at the registry right now. We didn't bankrupt them at all. We just made the necessary adjustment based on the meetings we went through and the vote of the advisory board. I think that was the central question, and that is why. And I think what we're arguing here is about $300,000. And then if you take a look at it based on what county accountant and myself presented in May of 2018, if you take a holistic look at the patterns that we did in the past, that ended up putting money not in the general fund of the county, as has been stated on multiple occasions, but in various accounts. And, you know, I'm not going to get into Chapter 35, Section 10 and 27 again, because we've been down that road and, you know, we have a difference of opinion there. But I just don't understand why I work as a fiduciary for an entity that was taking $500,000 out of stabilization to close out the year when there is $5 million in various accounts over at the registry. I mean, the consistency in the answer is clear, but past pattern has shown our analysis over the last 10 years, which I asked the county accountant to do, has shown that we have over budgeted to the registry $2,523.57 over the last 10 years. And this analysis can be provided to any and all who want to take a look at it, but it clearly shows what I'm talking about in that practice was unsustainable, and I don't think it was wise.
There is no issue as to the monies and monies going and helping out the county. As a matter of fact, your notion in this current budget, and I'm just trying to move forward, you're in essence saying there was a subsidy of $300,000. If you go by Attorney Lopez's numbers and opinion, it's almost $600,000. But that's not the issue. The issue is that there's a mandate by statute. We agree with that. Is that fair to say? And maybe we have a disagreement, but Chapter 64D, Section 12 is the statute that we're talking about, correct?
Correct.
And when you mention these expenditures or whatever the first assistant said back in March during a budget hearing, we went through that at the advisory board. Monies that aren't spent go back to the county general funds. And I'm not here to re-discuss that or re-argue it. I mean, that's just a fact. And it's changed. So we got to go with the changes. But the monies that weren't spent at the registry, that went back to the general fund, that went back to the county, as a matter of fact, at some point you have unexpended balances even in today's dollars. That's money that you get from monies that aren't spent. And you've used it to prop up your stabilization fund. And I got no problems. I think it's wise for government entities to build up funds. You have to, build up things for the rainy day. So I applaud the actions that are getting taken place. But we're almost talking two different things. There's the mandate. We are talking two different things. There's the mandate as voted by the advisory board, which has been changed, and the expenditures you talked about in past budgets. But believe me, those expenditures were used to prop up the stabilization fund, were used for county programming. A lot of the programming that flows from the county uses the unexpended balances. And again, we've tried to be a good partner. I don't think the registry's operating.
Let me just get in here for a minute.
County. But more importantly, we've used our resources and our budget to, fix the building up. And again, the county commission has put money into the building, but we've put a lot of money in. The generator and the electrical upgrade, we paid 100%. And this building is shared by other tenants that the county makes money on. So,
but that money is not your money. That money is the county's money, and should have been put back into the excess and deficiency fund. I don't see where one individual, you or anyone in the golf course or the school or whatever, should have $4 or $5 million around over there, and to use it at their discretion and say we're going to do this to the building that the commissioners give $400,000. I don't see why you are authorized, by what statute I don't know, to have these monies available like you have a private checkbook. I don't agree with that.
Well, I don't agree with that statement, respectfully, Mr. Chairman, because there's no such thing as a private checkbook. Any appropriations we've done, we've always gone through the county commissioners. We've always gone through the advisory board.
I understand that part of it, but it's
okay, because there's no private checkbook.
You are available to yourself. That you can jurisdiction over that $3 million, $5 million.
Well,
and my thing is that whatever decision that the Treasurer's Department has made, that's exactly the way it should be.
And
They are in charge of all monies in Norfolk County. And I certainly will abide by the authorization and the whatever going that the treasurer comes up with according to the statutes. And in Scott Lopez's, in his decision, he specifically underlined the word shall. And I think you got a copy, everybody got a copy. But I don't see where anyone should have $3 or $4 million at their discretion as a department head.
well, the just for a sense of history, and a lot of these budgets, you know, everybody that's on this call, at least the treasurer and the commissioners and myself, the county accountant, have been part of these budgets over the years. And again, I recognize Treasurer Timilty came on board in 2017, but this whole system isn't a creation of Register O'Donnell. It's been in place, would it be fair to say, to the Treasurer's office or to Joe Dioria, if he's on, he's been around since the 1980s, that this procedure and practice has been in place? 2 registers before I even got here, dating back to the 1980s, 1990s. Would that be fair to say, Joe? If he's on, or Treasurer Timothy?
But wait a minute, you go through the chair if anybody's going to speak. And furthermore, that what has it been in the past? Was it wrong in the past? If it was wrong in the past, we're correcting it. And Treasurer Timothy has corrected it. And Joe Diorio has followed exactly what the treasurer requested him to do after they had a conference together to find out which it was. We have to put this to bed once and for all. It can't be. I mean, I don't see, again, I do not see anybody, a department head, having $3 to $5 million at their disposal and to spend it for whatever they want.
Well, again, we have a budget process. We spend it on behalf of the registry, and we have to go every appropriation that the registry has ever sought since
I
I've been
understand,
here.
but nobody has that money. You have it.
But I didn't write the statute, respectfully, Mr. Chairman. Like 64D, Section 12, gives a portion, no more than 60% to the county and no less than 40% to the Registry of Deeds. So much like you have an income stream, the Registry of Deeds, as written by state law, has an income stream. And that income stream has been around long before. I mean, it was there when Barry Hannon was here in the 1980s and 1990s. It was here when Paul Harold was register. So it's not a new thing, having a revenue stream. And so, you know, my issue is, what are we doing with the 64D statute? Because in the past, if there was a voted mandate, the mandate was credited to expenditures as well as the indirect costs, which I think we all agree are expenditures to run the Registry of Deeds. I mean,
If I can I jump in for a second?
Yes.
Is it okay if I jump in for a second? I think we've hit the part of the meeting we're supposed to go to the Finance Committee, Mike. Maybe we could suspend this part of the meeting and take the Finance Committee and then come back to it if we have to.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. The FinCom, is in 25 minutes.
Oh, I thought it was at 1:30.
No, it's posted for 2 p.m.
Okay, I apologize. Let's keep on going.
All right, I have a question too, and a comment based on that. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I want everything to go through the chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it's Commissioner Shea.
Yes. Okay.
These budget issues in my 4.5 years here are always ongoing, always subject to constant change, tweaking, turmoil, whatever you want to call it. I go back to the original outside audit reports where they're saying certain chapters 35, I think it's 10 and 37, aren't adhered to. Then we hear today that there's two thoughts about 64D. Okay, I've looked at them all. We've got, I believe, competent attorneys. I agree with Treasurer Timothy and Joe DiOrio. I know that this isn't the 80s. However, I'm not pleading, but I'm totally committed. And this Friday, the committee that has been appointed to pick an outside vendor to study practices, current and past, general laws, procedures, everything is going to be hired. I welcome all discussions with the register, and I've learned a lot from it. But I've also learned that we use general laws when they work for us, and when they don't work the way we think they should, we tend to go by them. We wrote the state auditor a lengthy letter last January. Well, depending on who you talk to, we never really heard back from her. That's why we're hiring an outside accountant. And I don't mind continuing this, but I'm going to ask that we present everything and that everyone, and this includes other department heads too, have a chance to go to this outside firm that we're going to hire, lay everything on the table, and then see if we can't put some finality to it. Now, I don't want to go back. We can only go forward. I think things have changed a lot. We don't have the cushion we used to have. It drives me crazy when the register says the registry is helping the county out. Every department has a job to do. The registry does a good job. They take the money in. The treasurer and the commissioners and everyone disperses it back out. I don't want anyone to help the county out. I want the law followed, and I want us to keep an eye on the changing times that we're in. And I don't know that, the cost of government is certainly not going to go down. I don't know of any other departments, and I have other experiences before I was a county commissioner, or any other public entities that are allowed to hold on to this kind of money. And it took me 3 or 4 years to come to this decision. But I hate spending outside money. I hate getting law opinions that we pay for, and then if 5 out of the 6 people don't like the law opinion, we change it again. I'll go get another one. I mean, I was quite surprised this summer at the extended advisory board meetings, which we all were at the very end, to hear that in 2013, an opinion was given that the New Year's Registry of Deeds budget was based on different numbers, but traditionally that's the way it had gone. Well, it looks like it's changed, but maybe it hasn't. Again, I want to continue these discussions, but I'm really going to put my faith and put some hope in the outside group that we've worked hard with. The advisory board worked extremely hard this year. Not that they aren't always, because they're interested citizens from all the towns, but this finance committee that they put together has done an inordinate amount of work and research. And quite frankly, it doesn't point to a whole lot of things being wrong, but it does point to things have got to change. And if we don't change, we're not going to be able to afford to be a functioning county. So I'll come to any and all meetings, but I think this is about a month. I don't know how long the study's going to take, but I think, and I'm saying in a different way, hiring this outside committee is the way to go. Everyone's on board. The meeting is Friday. It's late in the day. And I think we're going to select. I've read the director supplied me and the other members, I'm sure, with a copy of the reports. There are 3 people interested in doing it. There's a lot of similarities between their reports, but we're going to sit down and pick someone to look at an outside view. And they'll know what we did in the 70s and 80s. And they know what we're up against today. And it appears all these companies, any one of the 3 could do the work, but we're going to choose one. And I want to sit back and continue this dialogue any way you want, but we're going to enter another budget cycle. Again, it's ongoing, as I said at my very beginning, and it's subject to tweaking, changing, massaging, and I I give credit to Treasurer Timothy for looking at it and making the changes. And quite frankly, our accountant, Joe Diorio, I don't know that he's got 30 years of service. He might have less or more. He might have more, but I don't think he dreams these numbers up either. We have history here. So if it's a change in how we do business, fine. If no change is needed, you will never hear me bring it up again. But I want to get right down to it and settle this once and for all, because 21 budget is upon us, and then who knows what, if we don't get this COVID relief and everything, where we're going to be. We're going to be in trouble. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, my opinion as chairman, I am abiding by Treasurer Timothy and Joe Diorio, and that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it has to be right now on the books until we have this. We hire this firm to do an in-depth study. You got anything future? Anything to say for Registrar O'Donnell?
No, I mean, I guess, this, as Commissioner Shea said, there's probably different interpretations, different thoughts. I'm just trying to, as I say, get the rules of the road, recognizing that, the law hasn't changed. And I recognize these difficult times. There were difficult times in the 90s and difficult times in the 2000s. And, the county had to work hard to survive, but it survived by following the law and working cooperatively. But I'm just trying to understand, and you've at least answered that there was some type of vote, that the vote of the advisory board, which was that 3.5 million number, actually ended up less. So that's more information that my staff or I had before the meeting, and we just have to assess everything moving forward.
Okay, thank you. I'll declare the meeting with Registrar O'Donnell closed and one in progress. Anything on the old business? Personnel matters. I'll wait a motion for the personnel matters.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we pass the personnel matters before us. That's 8 to do with the agricultural school, regrades, resignations, and appointments. 3 at the registry, retirement, promotion, and 2 at the facility maintenance department.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the personnel papers as presented by the department heads. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. Await a motion on the warrants for the payments.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a motion for payroll and expense warrants for approval today. First one is an Aggie expense warrant 21-03 in the amount of $240,846.19. The second one is a county expense warrant 09-0301 in the amount of $32,528.80. And the third one is the county weekly payroll 21-11 in the amount of $144,281, that these payroll and expense warrants should pass.
Through the chair, can we take that as one vote, Mike?
Yeah, yes, that is fine.
Okay, so Joe's made a motion. I'll second the motion.
Okay, there's a motion by Commissioner Shea, second by Commissioner Collins to approve the 3 warrants, the Aggie expense warrant, the county expense warrant, and the county weekly report. And in the amounts as indicated by the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It is a vote. 1:30, we had the bid openings. For the tennis court crack repair and application for down at Wollaston. Nancy, are you there?
I am. Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon, Nan.
How many bids do you have?
We have received one bid for this. Three went out.
Okay,
The bid we received is from East Coast Seal Coating out of Abington, Massachusetts. And their total bid amount is $48,325. That's for set one, set two, and the practice court.
okay, and what is it budgeted for?
We have approximately $60,000 in budget.
Okay. I'll wait a motion to take it on to the budget and refer them to Cal Minor.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman, that we take the tennis court track repair bid and send it to Carl Minor for his approval, his recommendation.
Second.
There's a motion made and seconded to refer the bid for the tennis court to the director, Cal Minor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. We have the report of the county director. Mike Mullin, please.
Yes, again, thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to update everyone on a few things. Like for the for the county commissioners meeting next week, we will have a recommendation for the county's new independent auditor. So we will have that at the meeting for next week as well. We do in your packet, you will see you will find the August registry revenues. I just want to pull up. I just want to pull up the spreadsheet that I have here. If you can give me a moment. I have a lot of papers here. Sorry. You will see though, in the, in the spreadsheet, that the register will, has probably also noted, we were up with our recording fee revenues from what we projected, in the month of August, up with, we were over projections, with our total deeds excise revenues as well. So for the months of July and August, with the registry fees, we're up a total of about $106,000, and with the total deeds excise, we're up at the moment almost $216,000. Thankfully the registry, in the real estate, in the real estate market here in the county, is hot. And that is very much helping our revenue situation. We don't have any idea, if there's a second round, of the pandemic, or whatever will happen in the winter, what will come out of that. So certainly going into the winter months, with such a buffer, is going to be helpful. So, and in addition to that, as Commissioner Shea mentioned, we are meeting Friday afternoon, to go over the three proposals that we received, for the operational analysis, in the best practices review. Hopefully shortly after that, we'll have a recommendation about, to come back to the county commissioners, and then we can get, and then we can get, actually moving on that work also. So with that, that is all I have this week, Mr. Chairman. If there's any
Okay,
questions, I'd be happy to answer.
All right, thank you. Is Treasurer Timilty still there?
Right here, Mr. Chairman.
Treasurer Timilty, as Chairman of the Norfolk County Commissioners, I would like to say to you that you did an excellent job as a treasurer of Norfolk County. You absolutely was a professional all the way, and you did such an outstanding job. I was shocked you were not running again, but things happened for the best, and I hope that it happens for you for the best, because you are the best.
Well,
And I know I speak for the other members of the board. You were always there when we needed you, when the county needed you, and most important of all things, you always had the county at heart. And whatever your future brings, we wish you luck, and anything you need from the Commissioners of Norfolk County, we'll be very happy to assist you. And God bless you and your family.
well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And through you to the membership, the three of you gentlemen, I have, it was a distinct honor for me to come here, having worked here before. I do love regional government. When I went into the Senate, my first chairmanship was the chair of regional government, and I do see that there are a lot of opportunities for you, meaning the commissioners, and the wonderful people who work in this entity to serve many more taxpayers, and I certainly hope that you will. Of course, in your earlier comments, and I'll say the same to former sheriff and treasurer-elect Bellotti, I am no Cahill or Conley. I can assure you that, but I've enjoyed this opportunity. If my health were as good as it should be, I would have continued in this capacity. However, I think my body's telling me something, and it's kind of telling me it's time to find a new role. And I wish the sheriff very good luck. And I know that he is a Cahill and he is a Conley, and he'll be fantastic for you. And I learned a lot from you as commissioners, and I've learned a lot from staff. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. I'm blessed to have a great team down here. County Accountant and Deputy Treasurer Dioria is one of the best guys I've ever worked with. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Jim. And I say that in my 60 years career of public service, asking to vote for you for the interim appointment was a complete pleasure for me, that I get my chance to vote for Timilty for that job, and well deserved. So, Commissioner Collins, would you like to add anything?
Yes, please. So, Jim, you're an honorable man, and we're lucky to have had you as our treasurer, but I'm afraid I'm not going to let you out of your job until January.
Well, thank you. I'll be here every day.
Commissioner Shea?
No, I'd just like to echo everything you said. I want to tell a little story though, Jim. Jim, when I was a kid, I cut the lawn of Ray Warmington. He was the county treasurer. Now I know Franny says, oh boy, and I was about 10 or 12. He was the only county treasurer I ever knew. So you far outdone him, and I appreciate it.
And
Thank you
Jim,
very
if you ever need your lawn cut, Joe's your man.
He's been on my lawn.
Ray Warrington was a good guy too, Joe.
Yeah, he was.
He was a good guy. Okay, await a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion made and second, we adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? This is a vote. Thank you, and God bless.